So I'll continue. Lencho was an ox of a man working like an animal in the fields, but still he knew how to run. So an ox of a man is a phrase, and what does it mean? It means that he was a very hardworking. Lencho was a very hardworking farmer. He really worked hard in his fields, but he knew how to write. So what did he do? The following Sunday at daybreak, he began to write a letter which he himself would carry to town and place in the mail. It was nothing less than a letter to Kosovo. The following Sunday, he decided to write a letter, and he also decided that he would carry his letter to town and put his letter in the mailbox. And whom did he write the letter to? He wrote that letter to God. So, this behavior of Lencho shows how simple-minded Lencho was, totally unaware of the harsh realities of our lives. Basically, here you can say that he lacks the know-how to deal with this world. Moving further, God, he wrote, if you don't help me, my family and I will go hungry this year. So he is making a vehement appeal to God, and he's saying, and he's requesting the Almighty to help him and his family. I need 100 pesos in order to sow my fields again and to live until the crop comes. So he is asking God to give him 100 pesos. What is a peso? Peso is a currency used in several Latin American countries. So he is asking God to send him 100 pesos so that he could sow his field and also he could live until the crop comes, right? Now he wrote to God on the envelope. So on the envelope, in place of address, he wrote only 2 words, and these 2 words are to God. And he put the letter inside and still troubled, went to town. At the post office, he placed a stamp on the letter and dropped it into the mailbox. So after reaching there, he placed a stamp on the letter and dropped it into the mailbox. Now, one of the employees who was a postman and also helped at the post office went to his boss laughing heartily and showed him the letter to God. So when the postman took out the letter and after reading the address, he started laughing. And not only that, he just took this letter of Lencho to his postmaster because he was really surprised to see the address written on the envelope, right? The postmaster, a fat, amiable fellow, also broke out laughing. So these are the two character traits, or you can say the traits of postmaster. He was fat. At the same time, he was very friendly and pleasant. So he also started laughing. But almost immediately, he turned serious and clapping the letter on his desk, commented. But after laughing, the postmaster immediately realized the gravity of the situation, right? He immediately realized. And what did he do? What faith? I wish I had the faith of the man who wrote this letter. Starting up a correspondence with what? What do you mean correspondence? Correspondence means conversation, right? So initially, this postmaster laughed along with the postman. But after realizing the seriousness of the letter, he was really impressed to see Lencho's unshakable faith in God. And he expressed a desire of having similar faith in God, right? So we will move further. I hope I'm clear. Now, so in order to shake the right, sorry, in order not to shake the writer's faith in God, the postmaster came up with an idea. So just in order to keep the faith of Lenchos intact, he came up with an idea. And what was the idea? Answer the letter. He decided to answer the letter. But when he opened it, it was evident that to answer it, he needed something more than just goodwill, ink, and paper. So, after reading the content of the letter, the postmaster realized that apart from ink, paper, and goodwill, something more is required, right? What do you mean by goodwill? Goodwill is, you can say that friendly feeling or attitude, right? So, what is going to happen next? Let's see. But he stuck to his resolution. What do you mean resolution? Resolution is commitment. But he decided to stick to his commitment to help Lencho. He asked for money from all his employees. He himself gave part of his salary, and several friends of his were obliged to give something for an act of charity. So here, not only the postmaster, but other staff or other postmen, or you can say that other employees employed at the post office came forward to help Lencho, and all of them contributed some part of their salaries, right? And basically, they decided to donate money in order to help Lencho. So it was basically, it was an act of generosity. It was an act of charity because they went out of the way to help Lencho, who was in need of money. So it was an act of, definitely, it was an act of charity. It was an act of generosity, right? It was impossible for him to gather together the 100 pesos. So he was able to send the farmer only a little more than half. So obviously, it was not possible to gather 100 pesos. So they fell short of some pesos, but no problem. They went forward, and whatever they contributed, they just decided to give it to Lencho. They put the money in an envelope addressed to Lencho, and with it a letter containing only a single word as a signature, God. So he wrote, they took a piece of paper, and in that paper, they wrote nothing other than the name of God. And whom they addressed the letter to, they addressed it to Lencho. Now, oral comprehension, again I'm skipping. Moving on. The following Sunday, Lencho came a bit earlier than usual to ask if there was a letter for him. So the following Sunday, Lencho came a bit early and he straight away went and inquired about his letter. It was the postman himself who handed the letter to him, while the postmaster, experiencing the contentment of a man who has performed a good deed, looked on from his post office, right? So everybody was very happy to help Lencho, right? So here, postman is handing over the letter to Lencho, while the postmaster was, experiencing the contentment. Contentment means satisfaction of helping. So he was full of, satisfaction. He was very happy to help Lencho. So he did not go and talk to Lencho, rather he stayed and watched Lencho from his office. Lencho showed not the slightest surprise on seeing the money. But here, children try to understand. So after getting the money, Lencho was not very, happy because I will not say he was not very happy, but yeah, he did not show any kind of excitement. Rather, he was surprised when he opened the envelope. Now, Lencho showed not the slightest surprise on seeing the money. Such was his confidence. Basically, I'm talking about his confidence, right? He was very confident that God is going to answer his letter. And in his confidence, he did not show any kind of surprise. He was, in fact, he was expecting that God is going to help him. But he became angry when he counted the money. God, he could not have made a mistake, nor could he have denied Lenchu what he had requested. So he started counting the money, and he came to know after counting the money that he, the God has sent him only 70 pesos. But he was not ready to believe that God could do mistake in counting, right? Immediately, Lencho went up to the window to ask for paper and ink. So, after receiving the money, after reading the letter, he decided to take up his issue further. So, he asked for pen and ink. On the public writing table, he started to write with much wrinkling of his brow caused by the effort he had to make to express his ideas, right? So, what did he do? He took pen and paper and started writing letter, and he started wrinkling his brows also. So during the course of his writing, he was wrinkling his brows, and wrinkling of brows happens when one is disapproving something. So he was not happy to receive 70 pesos. That's why he started writing and moving further. Now moving further. When he finished, he went to the window by a stand, which he lit, and then affixed the envelope with a blow of his fist. So he took the envelope, he put the letter inside the envelope, put a stamp on it, and gave it to the postmaster. Sorry, postman. So it handed it over. The moment the letter fell into the mailbox, the postmaster went to open it, right? So he put, basically, after writing the letter, he put his letter in the envelope, and after that, he put that letter into the mailbox. And obviously, postmaster was the one who used to open the mailbox. And when he opened the letter, what did he read? So the letter of Lencho said, God, one of the money that I has asked. Let me read it again. It said, God, of the money that I asked for, only 70 pesos reached me. Send me the rest, since I need it very much. But don't send it to me through the mail, because the post office employees are in bunch of crooks. Lecho. So now here, this situation is very ironical. So literary device used here is situational irony. How this story has ended with this situational irony. In my next video, I'm going to explain. In the meantime, let me wrap up this lesson. So the letter of the Lencho said, God, of the money that I asked, so he's complaining his letter that out of 100 pesos, you have sent me only 70 pesos. Please send me the rest of the amount, because I need it very much. But apart from this, he has made another request. He is requesting God not to send the money through the mail, because Lencho here believes that the post office employees are a bunch of crooks. Who are crooks? Crooks are dishonest people. So dishonest people are called crooks. So instead of being grateful, Lencho called all the office staff a bunch of crooks. So this is really Amazing, not amazing, but this is really ironical that he is calling those people crooks who went out of the way to help Lencho, who was in need of money. In my next video, I'm going to explain situational irony, and I will also discuss the two conflicts which have been clearly depicted by the author in this story. So I'm stopping here. Thanks for watching. Bye bye. Take care.